Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Silent117. Now, with this particular video, I have a lot of thoughts about what kind of video to make. I originally thought of making a video for... I have so many video ideas that you know how hard it is to pick up a single video. I have one idea to talk about how Courage the Cowardly Dog changed, my fears against, sort of things. And then I had another idea to do a DVD review, DVD/Blu-ray review for animated shows I have. And then, but this time we're gonna talk about what exactly happened to Ben 10. Now, a lot of people might think I am talking about the show that no one even cares about. Now, that is actually kind of true, because I feel like Cartoon Network nowadays has been kind of running the show down the drain. Like, they're just milking it so much that it's basically like Teen Titans Go at this point. Like, what the hell, guys? We need more shows than just Ben 10. Like, Jesus Christ. But one of the things I wanted to say, I actually really enjoyed Ben 10 series, from the original series to all the way to Ultimate Alien. But there have been moments that I feel like the show has been kind of downhill, especially since Ben 10 Alien 4 Season 3 and the Ultimate Alien. And the Omniverse, oh boy, do I have to say things about the Omniverse. So, yeah, this is gonna be a weird review, not the best review ever for the Ben 10 franchise, because there have been also live action movies, there was even a game show, there's shit ton of merchandise for Ben 10, so Ben 10 is like freaking everywhere at this point, so it is really hard, it's gonna be real hard for me to talk about this kind of topic, especially for a Ben 10 show, but yeah. Let's see how I do my best to actually talk about Ben 10. Now, the fun fact about Ben 10 is the fact that originally Ben 10 did not start as a TV show, but originally it started as a comic book series, and because of that, you know how comic books inspire making some TV shows like Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman, whatever, and Ben 10 also started as a comic book. So there was also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles started as a comic book, and because of that comic book, it inspired to make a TV show, and now we have Ben 10. Ben 10 originally aired on 2005, and when I originally saw the show, I thought it was amazing. One of my favorite things about the original series is the art style. The art style is like nothing you have ever seen before, and I think that is one of the reasons why the show was really popular originally, because Ben 10 had like this anime kind of art style that I really actually kind of enjoyed, and it made one of the things I like about a lot of these Man of Action cartoons like Generator Rex, Secret Saturdays, and even the original Ben 10 show is the fact that when you watch these shows, the characters feel like they're actually there. They feel like humans rather than just a bunch of characters with dots in them. I'm looking at you, Adventure Time, and yeah, they actually feel like they're actually there. And I'm not saying shit about Adventure Time. Some shows like Gravity Falls and Steven Universe kind of work with its simple art style, but I feel like we don't get shows like this anymore with this kind of groundbreaking art style that the original Ben 10 series had. And because of, and I feel like Batman the Animated Series kind of inspired a lot of other TV shows like Ben 10 to actually recreate the same art style, like Young Justice, Megas XLR, Generator Rex, and even the Avengers vs. Mighty Heroes, and I can go on. But with the original Ben 10 series, I kind of liked, because not just because of the art style, but I also really liked the action of the show. The action of Ben 10 is like the astronome levels of hype. Like, Jesus Christ, this is like the most violent, brutal action I have ever seen in any cartoon show. Well, next to Batman Beyond, but that's besides the point. One of the key things that made Ben 10 so, interesting to watch is because of the action, and the action never lets out. Like, one of my biggest problems with the future series of Ben 10, aside from Omniverse in some occasions, is the fact that the action is not as good as the original series had. Ben 10 had like the coolest looking aliens, and the transformation scenes are also really cool. And there have been like, what is the plot actually of Ben 10? Now, Ben 10 actually kind of the plot of Ben is just like the intro says. There was a 10-year-old kid who basically found a meteor that fell down the sky, but it actually wasn't a meteor. But then inside there was just like a giant spear that contains like an alien watch. And when Ben then tries to reach it, the alien device latches on his hand, and now he has superpowers. And he's no ordinary kid anymore, and now he's Ben 10. Then who has the power of transforming into 10 different aliens. And I really like how intros like Danny Phantom, the original Ben 10 series, a Spectacular Spider-Man, and even the original Teen Titans. What I liked about these shows is that they have these theme songs that actually kind of explain, the origin stories of these shows. You don't always need to watch the origin episode to actually understand the character's motivation, how he became the superhero. Sometimes even the intro itself even takes time to tell you the origin story of how the main character becomes the hero. And of course, I still rewatch the original Ben 10 series on Netflix, but one of my biggest problems with Netflix is the fact that a lot of the episodes of the original series are out of order. Like, for example, the first season is a really big mindfuck. Like, for example, the very first episode is actually the origin story of Ben 10, called and then there was 10. I really like these creative also episode names in some occasions, but instead of the first episode of the origin of Ben 10 on Netflix, they start out with the second episode called Washington BC. You see what the man actually did? Instead of Washington DC, now they just changed the letter. Okay, it's kind of lame joke. Sometimes some of the jokes are hit and miss in the original Ben 10 series, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, they kind of started. The first episode they start off with is the second episode of the show of the first season, and the very first episode starts out as the second season. So yeah, Netflix, please fix that shit. But yeah, Ben 10, the original Ben 10 series is ran for 4 seasons. It even made a movie called The Secret of the Omnitrix, which is also one of the first things that actually has kind of consequences of the original Ben 10. But one of my biggest problems I have with Ben 10 is the fact that the lack of consequences. Like, Ben 10, I feel like as the series progressed on, especially through all the way to Omniverse, I feel like Ben has become a way too overpowered character, and he becomes more likable, and he becomes way too overpowered even for a single villain like Vilgax to take down. And speaking of Vilgax, I think he's one of my favorite villains of all time. Like, Vilgax is like, when I saw him, or when I originally watched Ben 10 on TV, when I first time saw him, I was terrified. He was scary. He was badass. He was menacing. That is one of the qualities I really liked about main villains, is that like Slade or the Shredder from 2003 series of Teen Titans and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, fuck that is mouthful, is the fact that they have these menacing main bad guys, because they are menacing and also really like manipulative at times. Well, and I kind of feel that Vilgax hasn't been used that much in the series, especially if you rewatch the show, and that is a big shame because Vilgax is one of the coolest villains next to Kevin 11. When I look at Vilgax now, I feel like they just it's like Doomsday from Superman comics and Cthulhu, the mythical god demon creature, had a baby and then created, boom, there's Vilgax. Like, Jesus Christ, guys. Like, even if you look at him, he looks like a human Cthulhu at this point. And sometimes the original Ben 10 series, what I really liked about is that it had some really disturbing moments, even for a kids show. Especially one of I think one of the most scariest episodes is Ghost Freaked Out, where Ghost Freak actually gets through some of the Omnitrix, and you can see the most horrifying image in any animation ever. Like, what the fuck, guys? This is supposed to be a kid's show. But yeah, this is one of the things I liked about the original Ben 10 series and Ben 10 show, like a continuation of Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, is the fact that they were not afraid to show some horrific imagery, some really like darker moments. Like, this is one of those reasons I really liked about the original Ben 10 series, because it did not let up with, you know, making cool looking aliens. Sometimes some look disturbing, some look you know, cool, some look like they're engraved in your nightmares. Yeah, thanks, Ghost Freak. And yeah, that is one of the things I really liked about the original Ben 10 series. And then there was Alien Force. Now, actually, when I heard there was gonna be a sequel of Alien Force, or actually when I first time saw the of Alien Force season 1, episode 1, I actually kind of was really intrigued by it, because this is actually this is actually a sequel to the original Ben 10 series, which takes place in 5 years prior from the original series. And what I liked about this, it took itself more seriously. It has more serious and dark plot lines, and the character models look even better, but the action feels a bit lackluster compared to the original series. But nonetheless, the show was really great. The first 2 seasons were great, but season 3, yeah, season 3. We're gonna talk about it soon, but one of the things I really want to say, I actually watched Kudo the Artist. Yeah, I think that was his name. A YouTube channel that actually does reviews or you know, does stories for comic book stories for Ben 10 and Danny Phantom, because he's a big fan of these shows. Kudo the Artist actually did made a video about Ben 10, about what ruined Ben 10. It was called What Ruined Ben 10. I highly recommend watching that video. I will put in the link in the description, also in the comment section, so you guys could check it out. And I kind of agree, like, one of the things I never knew about Alien Force is that the first 2 seasons were actually written by the same writer who did writing for shows like Justice League Unlimited and Static Shock, and that is really amazing, because he knows how to make compelling characters, to make them more human, make them more humanized. And I really like that. They even found a way to make Dr. Animal a menacing villain, because when I watched the original Ben 10 series, I always thought Dr. Animal felt like more like a joke villain rather than a menacing one. But Ben 10 Alien Force really just step bar high up with you know, Dr. Animal as a character. But yeah, I really like the first 2 seasons of Alien Force. And I really liked Ben's role as the leader, because he actually does learn from his mistakes. He's not the same 10-year-old kid as he once was. He takes things more seriously, he takes his hero work more seriously, and that's why I really liked about the Alien Force first 2 seasons, is because it took itself more seriously. Although the Kevin and Gwen romance plot is something I'm not too fond of. I really hate the trope with, especially with animes as of now, is the fact that girls are crushing on hot guys even though they have like 0 personality, and once they were bad guys. Like, what the hell, guys? Like, this is one of those reasons I really hate Naruto Shippuden, especially with Sakura's character. Like, she still loves the guy who tried to kill Hokage's, and nearly tried to kill her twice or thrice, or how many more times I can't even count, and tries to, you know, betray the Leaf Village. Like, Jesus Christ, woman, just move on with this guy. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, the Alien Force romance is a bit bland. Well, except for Ben and Julie. I kind of like this couple, even though I'm not too fond of shipping. But I really like the Alien Force, especially the first 2 seasons, because it took itself more seriously, and I liked how it ended. And there was actual plan for season 3, especially, you know, I forgot his name. Who was the writer? God damn it, I tried to remember. John DiMaggio? No, wait, that is the voice actor for Jake the Dog. I can't remember, guys. I'm so bad at remembering names for people, and also street names, whatever. I have like the terrible reading memory, whatever. Like, I have more stronger visual memory. Even though from my visual memory, when I try to draw characters, it doesn't turn out as good as you expect. But yeah. But season 3 happened, and this is one of those seasons that really made me hate Ben as a character. What is the reason why season 3 is one of the worst seasons of Alien Force? It's because they decided to turn Ben into a douchebag. Like, what the hell happened? Like, it's like they pick up, yeah, first those seasons were dark and more mature, and they now decide to make Ben into a douchebag because for some reason Cartoon Network thought, because the reason why the original Ben 10 series was popular was because Ben as a character was a douchebag. Like, why the hell would you think that just because Ben is a douchebag is the reason why people like the show? I think the only reason people like the original Ben 10 series is because of the action, also the interactions with the characters, and also the character development. Not the freaking hey, I'm gonna fucking hate you, I'm gonna be a self-centered asshole, because why the fuck not? I know there's a lot of swearing, but considering YouTube is not paying me, I can swear as many times as I want. Yeah, thanks YouTube for ruining YouTube. Whoever is in charge for YouTube. But still, season 3 and Ultimate Alien, and especially Omniverse. Oh my god! Every time I see Omniverse Ben, I just want to freaking stab his eyes out. Like, you see this, Ben? I have a pen, and I'm gonna stab you in the fucking eye sockets. You stop being such a douchebag, you know, all the time. Like, this is one of my main problems with Ben as a character. For the reason why I really wanted to actually explain this, why this doesn't work, considering Ben is 15 16 years old. The reason why Ben was such a douche and, you know, kind of like self-centered character in the original Ben 10 series is because he was 10 years old, and for a 10-year-old it is understandable, because I was 10 years old, and I usually, sometimes I was not even a good kid at times, and so was Ben, so it is understandable because he's a child. And when you grow older, you become more mature and actually learn from your mistakes, and that's what Alien Force first 2 seasons did really well. Considering what Ben went through as a 10-year-old, considering he had the Omnitrix on his arm, you understand why he became more mature. But for season 3 to becoming him this self-centered douchebag, like, this is one of my biggest complaints of this series. Like why? Like, in the original Ben 10 series, Ben was kind of like a douchebag, self-centered character, but there are even times in a lot of episodes that Ben can take things seriously, because he has his grandfather and cousin Gwen to actually give him some emotional and also emotional support to actually teach him from right and wrong, so he could learn to grow up to be a better person. That is what I really liked about the original Ben 10 series, because it could balance out the comedy and the action of the show, well, like many other action cartoons have done for years. And turning this 16-year-old Ben Tennyson into the self-centered douchebag is really grinding my gears. Like, it's like they fired the original writer for some reason, and then just picked up a different writer and decided, turn Ben into a douchebag. People will not question it. Like, what the hell? And one of the worst things ever about this show, they ruined Vilgax. Like, Vilgax was one of the coolest villains ever. He was menacing. He was actually one of the first cartoon villains that actually gave me fear. And when I saw him in Alien Force, I'm like, no, seriously, guys, am I seeing this right? That's Vilgax. What the fuck? Like, oh my god, like, this is like, oh my god, they could not, they did not. Yeah, they did. They ruined Vilgax, one of the coolest villains in animation history, and they made him this weak-ass piece of shit monologuing villain. And why? Like, I know Vilgax sometimes monologues, but he does it really rarely. He does it really rarely because he's Vilgax. He's a bad guy. He wants to conquer the world. He's a freaking villain. He doesn't need to monologue every freaking time. Like, he wants to kill Ben. He wants to the Omnitrix. He wants to rule the galaxy. That's his motive. And when I watch Alien Force and Ultimate Alien and I see Vilgax, half the time I don't even know what his motivation is. One episode he wants to, be a conqueror of Earth. He wants to beat the world's greatest champion, who is Ben Tennyson. He gets defeated. Now he has a home of other Vilgax, races, and now they treat him as a hero, even though he's a bad guy, and Ghost Freak took over and asks Ben for help. And there was another plot point where he wants to be a god. Like, what is your motivation? If you have a motivation and you want that motivation, this is one of the things I really want to say. If you have a motivation, you want to make something, then stick to that motivation. Don't change don't have different motives and change them in every single time if one thing doesn't work. Try to do your best to, do that motivation, to chase your dream, to, conquer the universe or whatever. This is not how you do like I said, half the time I don't even know what Vilgax is even doing in this doing in these future Ben 10 series. Ultimate Alien is like half and half with Ben's douchiness and also Ben's seriousness, but I feel like after Ultimate Alien I just gave up on the show. When I saw Omniverse, I was wrong. Oh my god. Now, with Omniverse, people have different opinions, and I'm one of those people who actually hated Omniverse. I actually hated Ben 10 Omniverse. Now, some people say, why do you hate it? It is a good show. Now, I'm not saying some people... Yeah, but it's called an opinion, guys. We can have different opinions. You don't need to resolve on the same opinion and make peace. Sometimes there will be wars. Sometimes there will be people who have different tastes and stuff. We need to accept that, but... Omniverse, one of my biggest problems with Omniverse, and also, yeah, we are not gonna mention that because the last time I tried to do talk about Cartoon Network reboot, even though it did so well in my channel, especially one of the videos that hit like over 7,000 views. Like, Jesus Christ, guys, what the hell? I did not expect that, actually. Thank you guys for actually supporting my channel as much as you can. But with Omniverse, my biggest issue was it focused more on comedy rather than the action and the, you know, character development and the art style. Holy shit, what did they do? They look like... Some characters look alright. For example, Ben looks actually kind of alright in Omniverse style, but what did they do with Kevin 11? What the hell happened? It's like they pick up the original design from Kevin 11 from the original Ben 10 series, and they pick up the Knuckles the Echidna from Sonic Boom and mix them together and make this horrifying mess. Like, what the hell happened? Like, some people say the anime, like, art style for Alien Force and Ultimate Alien is not as good as the original series, which I might agree, but at least it tried to actually be more, you know, stick to original source material. But with Omniverse, oh my god, what did they do? Like, oh my god. Like, after all the, like, Alien Force, like, Omniverse is one of those shows, like, it's like, half the time it doesn't understand what it wants to be. It doesn't, if does it want to be an action cartoon? Does it want to be a comedy? Like, this is like one of my most main problems I have with modern cartoons, is that the lack of identity. Now, some people might think I'm biased by saying that, but it is actually true. A lot of cartoon shows like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, even Ben 10 Omniverse, it is, even the Loud has, even at times, it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, one time it starts off as a comedic show, and then a few episodes later it becomes a serious show, a character-driven show. And this is one of my problems with main, you know, modern cartoons, especially, is the fact that it has the lack of identity. It never sticks with one genre, and because of that, it becomes a freaking giant mess. Like, this is one of my biggest complaints with The Loud House, is it starts off as a comedic show, but then later on it is like a motivational family, like character-driven show. Like, pick up one genre and stick to it. Like, Jesus Christ, you're making a mess at this point. And with Omniverse, this is my problems with Omniverse, is that it doesn't understand what it wants to be. And like, and Ben's douchebagginess, holy shit, they bent testosterone up, they made Ben into a douchebag up to 11. Like, when I look at Ben and Omniverse Ben, I feel like this is not Ben 10 anymore. This is not Ben Tennyson, the hero who saved the entire, you know, universe or whatever. He's just some self-centered asshole. Like, nope, this is not Ben Tennyson. This is some asshole. Like, what the hell? And some of the characters, like, some of the villains are even questionable. Like, for some reason, Zambulso lives, and the Charmcaster is talking to her magic bag, and what the hell? Like, what the hell happened to the show? And I feel like I don't know. Since Alien Force Season 3, I feel like it was that at that time that Ben 10 series went downhill. Like, they made this Ben into a douchebag and not understanding the character growth of, you know, said character. And this is one of my main problems with Ben 10 as a whole. Like, the first series and Alien Force Season all the way to, from the original Ben 10 series all the way to Alien Force Season 2, it did something right, but from Alien Force Season 3 and all the way to Omniverse, it feels like a watered down version of the series. And I'm not even talking about Ben 10 reboot, because we all know how bad that is. And I feel like Cartoon Network really needs to stop milking the franchise. Like, I'm not the only one who feels this way. I love Ben 10, but at times I feel like there are things you need to let go. not cancel that, but try to make a proper ending for a show and just end it and work on something new. This is something Alex Hirsch even did when he made Gravity Falls. He made an ending, and because of Gravity sure, it's sad that Gravity Falls ended. I kind of wish there was a season 3, because I feel like season 2, especially the finale of the show, felt a bit rushed, but it's still better than how Samurai Jack handled its finale. But yeah, how you like? Yeah, but it still ended, and Alex Hirsch is now moving to Netflix to work on a different show, more adult-oriented show. I don't know how that will work out, but yeah, we shall see what he has planned for us. And this is what I am glad for Alex Hirsch for doing so, because he ended the show. He didn't want to get it cancelled. He wanted to end it, and this is one of the things I really respect for Alex Hirsch by doing so. So yeah, this is a long video, and I hope you guys actually enjoyed watching and actually listening to my thoughts on Ben 10 series and how Ben 10 was ruined, how where it went downhill, like the title says, where Ben 10 went downhill. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like this video, share this video with others if you want to, have other people share about Ben 10 series and learn that there are still some people who care about the show, and there are still people who grew up with the show as well. Like, I'm so bad at outros, god damn it. But yeah, like this video, share this video with others, and also subscribe if you guys really want to, and I will see you guys later. Bye.